Our next speaker stood as a parliamentary candidate in Basingstoke. He wishes to speak about freedom. His name is Scott Neville.
Thank you very much, Zoe. I'd like to start by telling you about my 2017 general election campaign. This was the weekend, this is a real story, following the Tory manifesto launch. And this kind of thing happened quite a few times. I was out canvassing in one of the more affluent areas of the constituency. I spoke to one constituent, and she always voted Tory. She never missed a single vote either. However, following their manifesto launch, she said for the first time in her life, she wasn't going to vote. So I spoke to her for a little while, and we chatted about the importance of property rights, the value of free markets, and a clear and accessible legal system. I left her making a commitment to vote Libertarian. Another constituent on exactly the same street told me that he was a socialist. You can guess where my mind went off from that. But he was quite worried about Jeremy Corbyn, or as he called him, Comrade Corbyn. We had a long conversation about the importance of raising the tax-free personal allowance to help those out at the bottom of the spectrum, the importance of proper defence for our country, and ensuring that everyone is treated equally under the law. We even talked about the issue of student debt, and surprisingly, he thought it was wrong, we both agreed, for the government to pay for student debt, because there were so many skilled young people who can't go to university because they're not academic, and they're being left behind by the push for everyone to go through university. So I left another house with another voter pledging to vote Libertarian. Now, what a curious state of affairs. Does that not tell you quite a lot about the current political climate? Does that not imply that perhaps there's something very wrong with mainstream politics? The fact that a lifelong conservative and a socialist were both so willing to abandon their traditional homes and vote for a libertarian. To me, this actually makes quite a lot of sense. For many years, our elected officials have told the electorate that the government can and will fix things. But no one, pretty much no one, regardless of party, has ever been able to deliver on that. So when someone knocks on the door and says, you can solve problems, the government gets in the way, let's change that, their level of interest raises immediately. People know that election manifestos never work out, and they're wise to it. The House of Commons Library did a study on party membership, and this was published in September of last year. It found that since 1970, every national party has hemorrhaged members. Even the massive surge with Momentum joining the Labour Party does not even begin to turn around the long-term decline they've been seeing. The Conservatives, if they haven't already, are approaching a crisis. Some reports suggest that they're running out of councillors to stand in local elections. How long will it be until the Labour Party tears itself apart with both unquestioning support for socialism and membership of an organisation that effectively bans socialism? Finally, we have the illiberal undemocrats, or the one-issue wonder party of the EU, whose leader, they could only just cling on to their seat in the 2017 election, and their former leader losing. Looks like times really are changing. Funny thing is, we have ideas that appeal to a lot of voters. We want the state out of people's lives, and we want to give them the freedom to live as they wish. We actually stand for issues that real people care about, and we're ahead of the modern left on social issues. While they're busy working out how everything is racist or xenophobic or sexist or whatever, we're just saying, look, live your life as you see fit, doesn't matter. We're saying get the state out of marriage. Want a straight civil partnership? We say no problem. 3-person marriages? As long as everyone consents, and that's the key thing, consents, why does that matter to the state? Immigration. If you don't expect others to fund your life and you don't wish to hurt anyone else, Why does it matter which country you come from? On the economic front, the modern right are busy working out exactly how socialist they need to become in order to get elected. And while we're standing here defending the free market, which has lifted billions of people out of poverty, we've got some real ideas on how to address the housing crisis, some of which might actually work, rather than just sort of tinkering around on the edge of the tax system. We're meeting small business owners and other innovators in the street, and we're getting their support simply because we're not going to defend the large corporate interests at their expense, which they see all the time. Experience has shown us that we are on the side of hard-working people. We were on their side with the EU referendum. We have defended them when the authoritarians called them racist for voting against an organisation which really doesn't do them any favours at all. We will point out abusers, regardless which collective the perpetrators belong to. Left or right, minority or majority, we will fight back if they try to take the rights away from other people. We are the party of aspirations, the party of believing in people. And most interestingly, when you ask people what issues bother them locally, it nearly always boils down to decisions that have been made on their behalf, but without their involvement or consultation. So even in local government, and with our views on devolution, it turns out that we're on the side of normal individuals again. So there's never been a better time to be a libertarian. And thanks to the free market, there's never generally been a better time to be alive. We have ideas that are popular with people. People know that they can run their own lives better than the state can. And we have no interest in shouting at people that don't agree with us. We are gaining momentum, as is the entire liberty movement across the entire world. We're in the best position we have ever been in. And now we're starting to stand in local elections, and we are actually making, with our councillors, people's lives better. Our manifesto appeals to a broad range of people because, to paraphrase Bill Clinton, it's freedom, stupid. Thank you.